All right, I want to walk you quickly through a chart which will help make sense of some of your options when it comes to the free will debate and help you figure out where you stand on this. Okay, so the first question you want to ask yourself is this. Do you think that your choices are determined by anything? And if so, what? So, do you think your choices are determined by physical causes like your brain chemistry? Yes or no? Think about it. Do you think that your choices are determined by your mental states, your beliefs, desires, and emotions? Yes or no? Think about it. Do you think they're determined by God? Yes or no? Do you think they're determined by something else? Now you could check multiple of these boxes or none of them. Okay. So if you check yes for this one, then you're a physical determinist, or you might be a psychological determinist or a theological determinist. If you check no for all of them, you are an indeterminist. And remember, when we talk about determinism, we mean that these causes guarantee what your choice will be. They don't just make it more probable or likely or influence you, they necessitate what your choice will be. Okay, so figure out if you're a determinist or not. Now you want to figure out whether or not you're a compatibilist. So ask yourself the question, do you think freedom, free will, is compatible with determinism? Do you think that if your choices are determined by one or more of these causes, then they might still be free choices? So you could ask that about physical causes. Do you think if your choices are determined by brain chemistry that they could still be free choices? Or how about by psychological causes? How about by God? How about by anything? If you answered yes to any of these questions here, then you're a compatibilist. If you answer no to all of them, you are an incompatibilist. Okay, so you figured out whether you're a determinist, you figure out whether you're a compatibilist. We got one more question here, 3, which is yes or no. And this brings us to that point that Nagel brought up. Nagel said, hey, look, if my choices aren't determined by mental states, then they're not even my choices, so they're not free choices. Now, question 3 asks, do you agree with that or not? In other words, do you think that choices can be free choices if they're not determined by your mental states, by your desires and beliefs? Where do you come down on that? Do you think, yes, they can be free choices? Or do you think, no, they're not free choices if they're not determined by my mental states? Figure out what you believe on that. Okay, once you've answered 1 through 3, now you can figure out what you can consistently hold when it comes to whether or not you have free will. Okay, so first of all, ask yourself how you answered questions 1 and 2. If you believe in determinism and you believe in compatibilism, then you can believe in free will. Congratulations. If you believe in determinism, but you believe also in incompatibilism, too bad. I guess you don't have free will. If you believe in indeterminism and you believe in incompatibilism, well, you very well might be able to believe in free will, but it depends. We next have to ask, how did you answer question 3? Because even if you think that your choices aren't determined, do you think that they're determined? Sorry. If you answer, let me just simplify this. How did you answer question 3? If you answered yes to question 3, congratulations, you can believe in free will. But if you answered no to question 3, then you can't consistently believe in free will, because even though your choices are not constrained by any causes, they're no longer your choices, so they're not free. Okay, so, and then there's a final weird combo you might have, and that is you might be an indeterminist, but also a compatibilist. And again, you have to ask yourself, well, how did you answer question 3? And you got the same possibilities here. So after you walk through all those, you should be able to figure out whether or not you believe in free will. Hope that helps.